Do, 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 do. I have to say, my picture looks better here, but when I watch the stream, it looks horrible.
No, you're still ugly.
I'm,
Hello, Gun Nation.
Uh, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday evening, and welcome back to another fantastic chat.
Hang on. Sorry.
Why are we hanging up?
because we've got a rookie here.
Oh, my.
Another fantastic.
Turn it up. More.
Good pause.
Why are we hanging up? We've got a rookie.
He can't
Nope.
take you anywhere.
Okay,
Are we good?
we're good.
Well, welcome back to another Wednesday night. I hope everyone is doing well and staying cool as we are still in the summer months. This is what episode? I don't even know, like 90 or something like that.
5 million.
We should have been counting this whole time, but we haven't been. But gentlemen, how are the two of you?
Go ahead, 17.
I was just sneezing. I've been great. I fell down a flight of stairs yesterday, so that was exciting. Hurt my butt and my rib and my left elbow, which is like swollen pretty good. See that little
Damn.
bruising there. But I didn't break anything, so other than that, great.
That's good.
Did you push your med alert button saying I've fallen and I
I
can't
said,
get
I
up?
can't get up.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear to God, I hit the floor like it was like 220 pounds of bricks falling down on the ground. And I was in pain, man. I actually had to catch my breath because I just cracked my back just in the right spot. And my wife was home. She laughed at me. So,
I would have laughed at you too.
yeah, thanks.
No, I'm doing good. It's freaking hot. I'm sure it's hot in a lot of places, but man, we were 106 yesterday and got some rain today, and then it started warming up, so it was real muggy today, but everything's good.
Good. Well, what's new with you guys? What's going on in the firearms world with the two of you?
Big J, would you like to go first?
Still shooting the dots, really enjoying them. Went Sunday and did a bunch of shooting. Didn't even turn on the camera at all. It was actually awesome. Working on transitions. And I did a little test between the regular P10 without an optic and the P10F with an optic. And I'm actually getting a lot faster with the optic with the red dots now. So it actually switched. I was faster with sights, iron sights. Now I'm actually faster with red dot.
Very cool.
So,
That's cool, man. So the transition is almost complete.
yeah, I mean, I've actually been carrying dots, not just, I kind of announced that before, but carrying different pistols with different dots. And so far, no issues. Practice draw from concealment, and I'm finding the dot pretty quick. Not saying I'm perfect, but I'm becoming more and more comfortable with it.
So 17 is exploring the one downside to having these
Yes.
little call outs up here. Romans did ask a question to Big J. What red dot do you recommend for the P10C?
It depends on what you want to do with it. If you're going to do it for competition, I would do. I really, really like the SRO. However, I'm really digging the 507Cs. Trigicon's good. It depends on what you're looking for. But I think the Holosun 507C is a really good option. I've got 5 of those now, and really liking them.
5 what now? What did you say? 5 what?
I have 5 Holosun 507Cs now.
Jesus, dude.
SR
That's a
and an
lot.
SRO and RMR, and I'm not just playing in it, I'm living it. So practicing what I preach.
It's a lot of red dots, but that's
They're
cool,
on
man.
different pistols.
Sure.
Oh, I thought they were all on one.
Yeah, they're all stacked up on each
Yeah,
other.
you have one on the rail in the front.
Yeah,
something
that
like
way
that.
if I have to get down in the prone, I can just look at the top dot. I don't even have to sit down. I can just stand up and look at it.
That's awesome. So REB is saying picked up a Masada today, and Friday I'm getting the Chris Vector in 10 millimeter, big old 10 millimeter.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that Masada, it's getting a lot of press right now. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty
For the
excited.
price,
Mine's
For the
sitting
price,
in
you
a
kind of
shop
can't
right
beat
now.
it for a carry optic ready
Yeah.
pistol.
17, I'll be curious to know what you think of that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm living vicariously through you.
Finally.
So Eric Davis is saying, what do you think of the Canik Elite 1?
It's a Canic.
That's true.
I can't talk about it because I bash them. I do. That's one brand I don't like.
Okay, fair enough. Big Johnson?
I mean, I think it's a good option if that's what your money allows. I think it's a pretty nice pistol. The trigger's nice. I know 17 didn't have good luck with his. I personally would get something different, but if that's what you want, that's what you like, by all means, get it.
Okay, cool. And I like Canic. I think they do a good job. I think their triggers are fantastic. For the money, I think they're a good value, especially the one. Now, I think the one only comes with the one magazine. That's a downside to that, but you can get more magazines, and I would encourage you to do so. I mean, who knows what's going to be happening over the next 3, 6, 10 months, 12 months, whatever it is. So it might not be a bad idea to have a few extra magazines for that. Banshee asked, any sweet deals anyone has come across lately?
New or used?
Take your pick.
Well, I have to say I had a really nice experience with that SIG 225 I picked up used, and it was just a crazy good deal. That was a little over $400, and that gun is just. I mean, I know there's a lot of people don't like the capacity and the weight and all that other stuff, but that's becoming my daily carry. It does everything right. The SRT trigger is standard on that gun, so you can't beat that. I mean, that trigger is phenomenal, that single action.
Yeah.
And then I dropped an 18-pound spring in there for the hammer spring, and the gun's perfect. I mean, it runs great, carries very well. I mean, it is a bit heavier, but I would not say don't do it. I mean, the capacity sucks, but I have 3 magazines, so 24 rounds is, I think, sufficient. But that was a great deal. And then also the Beretta 90-2, which, stupid me, I just shot it, and then I sent it out. So I never made a video on the gun. But that's okay. When it comes back, it's gonna look and function, I think, even better. So I'm pretty excited for that. And again, that was a $400 gun. So for me, those two have been the best deals that I've found, and they've been used. I have no problem buying used guns.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went to the gun show like 2 weeks ago, and I don't know if y'all know this, but the original P10C has actually been discontinued. The Czech version and the first version, and I grabbed a Urban Gray brand new for $387. And the reason I was going to look at that is I was interested in a threaded barrel, which is $187, and you can't find them anywhere unless you go to Primary Machine. So that would have cost me $187. Then I got 2 additional mags with +2s, which would have been some. So basically, I got the gun for $100. So it's kind of a no-brainer, and I grabbed it. So now I have another P10C. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, collect the whole set. Why not?
Three.
I have not run into any fantastic deals lately. I wish I could say I have. I haven't really been looking, to be honest with you. I was at Frontier Justice. This might have been this last weekend or previous week. They still had that Beretta Centurion, the APX there, and it was like $350. And I was kind of tempted. I'll be honest with you. I mean, they're good guns, but I did not do it. And I'm okay with that. I have enough polymer around. I'm really trying to focus a little bit more on this steel. So if I can find some good deals, and I'm okay doing used as well. If I can find something fun used, I mean, I'm jealous of that SIG that you picked up. That's a screaming deal. I would jump on something like that as well. So I'm kind of keeping my eye out for things. So Doug Floyd's saying, KS, have you put the red dot on the 365 XL yet? No, I have not. I don't think that dot is out yet. At least I haven't seen it, but I'm keeping my eye out. Clearly not very much since I don't know, but I will try that at some point. I think that'd be a lot of fun to try. So I don't know if you guys have seen any questions out there. I need to catch up a little bit. I've been saving some of these.
No, not really.
Okay.
Just getting back to what you were saying before, just keeping your eye out on a deal. I think that's where I'm at right now. I'm looking for really good deals on used guns. A lot of times when you look at the used gun, people barely shoot them. I mean, the SIG was in perfect shape. There was nothing wrong. There was no spiral marking on the barrel. nothing. It looked like a guy who bought a gun and just decided I didn't like it, or whatever. So I mean, they're out there. You just have to really be patient, and if you see something, just jump on it, even if you have to put like down payment on it, because that's how I do it most of the time. Because I don't have $400 at a pop. Usually I'll put down like $50, and then over the course of time I'll throw like $20 here, $20 there, and then I'll make myself feel better and put another 120 down, and then another 120 down, till ultimately it's paid off. And by the time it's paid off anyway, I got to wait so long to get them. So,
Right.
but if you see a good deal on something, just drop a few bucks on it. Maybe the place you're at, has the ability to, if you don't like it or you don't want it anymore, get your money back. But I mean, that's the way you have to do it sometime, and I've been very, very fortunate. And even that Beretta 92, I wasn't going in to look for that gun, and that gun had no practical purposes except for the fact that it was unique. That was it. It was just a unique looking gun. I never heard of it before. And then after research, I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting that it only ran for 6 years and then they stopped making them. And it's kind of interesting to see how that gun really evolved into the current A3, and it's kind of interesting that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I totally agree with you. Stumbling upon good deals with used guns, and so often you're exactly right. Either they never get shot or they get in trouble for buying it and they have to turn around and sell it, or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
So oftentimes you'll get a firearm that is never used. Now on the flip side, I've picked up, in fact, a Glock Gen 4 that I have, that the frame has been reworked by Sonoran Defense. I'll eventually have a video out on this. The slide is still being worked on at Zafiri, but that thing was gnarly. I mean, it had really been used and abused. Now I got a very good deal on it. It was a Glock. I didn't. It wasn't a big deal, and you could swap out the internals if you need to, or whatever the case may be. So I didn't feel bad about getting it based upon what I bought it for, and I knew I could use the parts or do whatever I wanted to, and I've decided to totally build it out and make it something brand new. So you can get good deals, and don't be afraid to do it. And if you find something that's a little bit dirty, you can clean them up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even with the springs, you can change out the springs, the guide rod. I mean, just as long as that barrel looks good, everything else is replaceable. So you can't beat it sometimes. That's for sure.
Right. Right. So Anthony's got a good question. Is the P320RX Compact a good starting point for a red dot? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, if you like SIGs, I mean, if you can get it with the red dot and everything, by all means, get it. If that's what you want, if you could find a good deal on one, get one. Sometimes rather than spending $800 or $900 on that, what I would recommend is a gun that that you really, really like, that you already own. Just send it out and have it milled. You're going to spend $150. You can pick a different color for the slide, and that's a less expensive way to try it. And then if you don't like it, you can even have the milling company say, hey, make me a plate, and you just put the plate on there, put the 2 screws in there, and you take the optic off. But that's a cheaper way to do it, unless you just really want a SIG, or you want something optic ready, or even a Glock. If you're a Glock person, you can get the Glock MOS and try it. So.
Yeah. 17, what do you think?
I think the P320RX is a very expensive gun for entering the red dot market, although it does come with the Romeo and all that other stuff. I think there's other options for you. I know Big Johnson just mentioned the fact of getting a gun that you like and then milling it. That's always a possibility, and it's probably going to cost you less in the long run. I think positives and negatives. Negatives is if you get one of these that's already optic ready, that the optic's going to sit a little bit higher. You may not have that stability on the slide. Whereas if you get it milled, there are positives and negatives with that too. It's going to sit lower. It's going to be fit perfectly for that dot on your slide, but you can't change it out for anything else. So you really have to decide, do I want to spend an extra money on a cheaper gun that's as good as a SIG? Like, let's say, for example, a regular P10. You can pick those up for $350 and change. Sometimes a little less, a little bit more. Have it milled for $100. Buy a dot for $150, which could be like a Venom or something like that. So you might be around that area of where the SIG is, but you have to commit to that one red dot, and that's the only other issue. So I mean, it's a good gun. I don't think it's necessarily the best choice. at this point because I think there's cheaper out there right now.
Right, right. Yeah, and I would agree with all of that. And I think the one thing I would say in favor of the 320, if you like the 320 platform a lot, if that's something you're familiar with or have some other ones or whatever, and you want to get into that with the red dot, it could be a good option. They have come down in price a little bit. I mean, I don't think that they were definitely 900 plus when they first came out. I mean, I think they're more like 750, 800, so still expensive, but perhaps not as expensive as they used to be. So, you know, a lot of options. There are definitely a lot of options, and there are some other great firearms that have red dots. The one manufacturer I still am sort of miffed at a little bit that they have not gone to more of an MOS type of setup is Smith & Wesson. I feel like they're sitting on the sidelines a little bit. Even CZ with the P10, although I don't think they did that quite right either. They're still getting on the ball. They're in the program, and that's cool. So I'd like to see Smith catch up.
I agree with that.
Smith already has them out. Austin Police Department has been testing them. They've got some police departments testing the 2.0 dot ready. And I guess they're just waiting to release them. So I'm thinking they're probably going to be releasing pretty quickly. I don't know what the price point is on them or any of that, but they're already out there with testing. I've seen pictures of them. An Austin police officer, shoots, and he's posted pictures of it. So. But it really kind of just looks like a 2.0 with an MOS system. It doesn't look like anything radically different. So
and it really shouldn't be because the 2.0 is just a great gun to begin with.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And really, the prices on the Performance Center, the older ones like the cores and stuff, man, you can get a core now for I've seen them for like $425. And that gun, I actually had that gun, and I remember when they first came out, they were $750.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
and
they're still good guns. I didn't have a core, but I did have their Pro Series.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 5-inch Pro Series. That was a fantastic firearm. It really was a good one. So Havoc is saying, I'm traditionally a striker-fired guy, but held a P07 today and instantly fell in love. Have any of you carried this handgun before? What are your thoughts?
Big Johnson, I know you want to say something, so go for it.
No, I was gonna say I don't have any. I don't know anything about those.
Yeah.
No, I love the P07. It's a great pistol. Own 2 of them, and they're really good guns. I enjoy them.
I mean, I've had several P07s. I have 0 now because I've gone away from the polymer CZs. I think for good, but again, that can always change. So I prefer the PCR or the P01s, but the only thing I don't like about the P07 is I think the trigger is garbage. I really do. I think it's, you can change it out with the spring, get it down a little bit, but the single action, I do not like it. It's very spongy, a lot of pre-travel on that trigger, so I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I stage them quite a bit, and I shoot to the reset, and I actually like them. I mean, if you really look at the single action on it, they're like 3.8 or 3 pounds, 8 ounces. Mm-hmm. And hell, those are lighter than Glocks, but a lot of people can't get past, like you said, the little bit longer reset and stuff like that. But if you shoot them a whole lot and you get used to them, I really enjoy them, but that's just personal preference. Everybody's going to have a different thought on it.
Yeah. The P07, P09, I like the ergonomics a lot. I think they feel very good in the hand, especially the P07 for me, much more so than the P09. So I like the way they sit in the hand. I enjoy shooting them if it's slow fire, but I like a lot of people, and it's I know it's all about practice, but I do have a problem with that reset. There is so much dead air from your reset back to your wall.
Right.
And that's just that opportunity to wag a little bit. And I don't notice that quite so much on the P01 Omega, which has the same trigger system, but for whatever reason, that reset is maybe half as long, and it just seems to work a little bit better for me.
And then Pistol Pete did remind me, I do have a Phantom coming as well. So that's my polymer CZ.
Oh, there you go.
Whoops, I forgot.
That's what, the second time on that one?
Yeah, but you know what? When I sold it, I regretted it because I like it much better than a P09.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the Phantom is awesome.
And see, that's where we differ. I'm a P09 guy. So
Right.
just giving different opinions,
Yeah. And it's that question. I did see the torture test on the Steyr, which is pretty impressive, I'm sure, obviously a bigger channel will have the ability to get one at some point, and do it. I would never torture test any of my guns. I don't, I'll watch somebody else destroy one. I'm okay with that.
Right. And nobody else is getting a tester until I send it back. I still have it.
You better get rid of that, man. They're going to come after you. They're going to knock on your door.
Right. The Steyr none of them.
Yeah. They probably don't even remember you have it. I'll be honest with you.
And actually, I've already sent it back. I swear.
Sure you did.
That's awesome. All right, another PO7 fan, Romans. Well done.
I mean, getting back to the, it's kind of weird. I think I brought this up the last time, but isn't it strange how the evolution of people and their likes about guns change over time? And it's definitely occurring with me. Like, for example, I've been carrying a hammer fired gun for probably, I don't know, maybe about a week now. And I've been going back and forth between that and the Beretta APX, and then I finally got a holster for it I'm going to plug them, the Armsman. Good holster, man. I have it right here. Fantastic stuff. But, for me, it's kind of weird how the evolution has taken place. Like, I feel like, to me, that hammer-fired gun is just as effective as the striker fire. I mean, yeah, my shots were off to the left on the first one, but it was still in the body. You know what I mean? So it wasn't off into, the innocent bystander over there. And it's always about practice making perfect, and I just have been very kind of questioning my tastes in guns lately, because right now I just feel like I have such a good collection of them. And I'm noticing I'm drifting more towards hammer-fired guns, which I didn't think I would be.
Yeah, there's no shame in that. I certainly am drifting more towards metal firearms. I'm liking the heavier ones. Now, this is more for fun, more for range time, and perhaps collection worthy type of firearms, because usually they're a little bit more expensive. And I'm having a great time with that. I mean, polymer is fun. There's nothing wrong with polymer, and I still enjoy them as well. But I too, I mean, our interests absolutely change and evolve over time, and sometimes they revert back, right? I mean,
Sure.
going back to Phantoms and things like that, you kind of find, man, that was a good experience I had. I want to go back to that. And it's nice that we have that option.
Now, let me ask you guys a question really quick. Is there one gun, out of all the guns you've shot or own or used to own or whatever, is there one gun that you would say you have either shot it the best, or there's just something about that gun where you've connected with it so well that it would be hard to replace it? Is there any gun that you feel that about?
Hard to replace it, or you would never get rid of it?
I don't want to say never, because everything's replaceable, I think. So, and I don't believe in the words never and always, because it's not true, but is there a gun that maybe you have had or got rid of or whatever it is that you swear today, even with all the guns you've experienced, that gun for you was the it gun?
Well, I have two that I personally know that I will never get rid of. And I love them.
And they are?
Shadow 2 and the TSO.
Interesting.
The Shadow 2 for me, and actually the Staccato P. The Staccato P is a ridiculously fun shooter. I mean, it really is. I get like childlike excited when I shoot that firearm.
Okay, now question for you on that. Staccato P, which is a 2011, or the TSO, if you could only keep one?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
That's a tough question. I'd probably go TSO, but that could potentially change.
Okay.
The Staccato P is an extraordinary firearm.
Cool.
What about you, 17?
I spent some time with that M9A3 again this past weekend. I shot it with the 92. 92 is a great shooter, by the way. But that M9A3, man, is just, boy, it's good. I mean, it's just such a nice shooting gun. And there's things you can do with it to even make it better, which I'm probably going to wind up doing at some point. But it's a fantastic gun. I love the way it looks. I love the way it holds. There's just not a lot to complain about with that gun at all. So I found that one right now And even that P225, those are the two guns that I'm loving the most right now.
Cool.
Nice. All right, Stephen Kennedy's got a question. Q5 match or CZ-P10C? Now, I'm going to assume that the Q5 you're speaking of is the polymer version since you're comparing those two. I could be wrong. But what do you guys think of that?
Kind of a weird comparison because one is, I think the Q5 match would be probably better compared to maybe the P10F optic ready, because you're kind of comparing a compact to a full size or more of a full size. But me out of those two, P10C or P10F.
I'm noticing people are saying Q5 is a much bigger gun. I mean, technically, it's really not. I mean, the only thing that is the slide in the barrel. The grip is still a PPQ. It's still considered a compact.
We're just, talking
But,
about
I mean,
used it for.
they are different guns. I mean, one is more competition purpose, although it is nuts and bolts of PPQ. So it is more like, but you could also get the PPQ 5-inch, which is not the Q5, so you don't have the optics ready version of it.
The tactical.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you're going to use it for. You know, if it's going to be an all-day carry gun, I think the P10 probably makes more sense. If it's something that you want to use for, having that red dot option, then the Q5. But I would spend less money and just go with a 5-inch. And then but you don't have the red the optic on it. So.
Right. Or the blue trigger. Don't forget the blue trigger.
Yeah.
Well, just change it out anyway and get an Apex. Totally worth it.
Yeah, right. That is true. I think both of those guns are great firearms. I totally agree. If it's a carry thing, P10C would make, in my mind, more sense. But if it's a fun gun or maybe even a home defense gun, that the Q5 match is a great firearm. And they are less expensive than they were when they first came out. Of course, that happens to most firearms. And they are stupid accurate. They really are. So both good guns, just slightly different application, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish there'd be a slight redesign on the PPQ. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still one of the best. I think they need to do some things to rework it a little bit without changing major components, but maybe just the thickness of the frame, I think, needs to be reduced a little bit. But the gun is solid, man. Solid freaking gun. You go with that Apex trigger, it becomes even better. At least in my opinion.
No, it does.
Yeah. So Corey's asking, tell me you got the Masada already. Should have it within a month. We'll mount an RMR on it. Roman, sorry, didn't mean to throw that out there. I have not. No, I have not ordered it. I'm kind of watching what other people think of that one. I've been a little skeptical of it, and frankly, again, this goes back to I'm getting a little burnt out on the polymer stuff right now. And the Masada doesn't necessarily excite me. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it looks pretty cool from the videos that I've seen, but I'm just not excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've played with it, and at the gun show, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I personally just don't have a need for it. I already have guns that fill that niche, and so for me, I just don't need it.
And I did buy one. I just have to wait to get it. And I'm pretty excited for it for a couple of different reasons. Your reason number one, the price is stupid low for what you're getting with the gun. I mean, it's optics ready. I will tell you that I don't think the trigger is top notch, to be honest with you. And the ergos are all good. I mean, it's a solid made gun. I mean, we know IWI is going to be catering to police and military. So those guns are primarily going to be used for that. They're able to sell them here for the civilian market, but I think it's a good gun just from what I've seen and played with. Is it the best gun? No. But I think it's a solid offering, especially if you're entering that red dot. And I don't have any optics ready guns right now. So for me, for the price, I was like, you know what, maybe if I want to get back into that, then I have that option at a low price point. And one of the things I've also been looking at is I'm trying to figure out if there is a brand that I want to stick with, and what I'm trying to say there is that I'm not so set on just having Glocks anymore. I only have one Glock left. I really don't want a striker fired CZ because I feel like CZ belongs in the hammer market, and that's just my opinion. I like the Beretta series quite a bit, and I like the M&Ps quite a bit, but I wanted to try this and see what this is all about. And plus, the whole trigger assembly comes out. So the hope is that at some point you'll be able to switch frame sizes, that kind of stuff. And eventually I'm assuming a compact will come up at some point. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things going on.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So, and I can't pronounce the name. I got to throw this up on the screen. I know it's Art. We'll just say Art. I was saying, do you think SIG will expand on tungsten infused frame options? Do you think other manufacturers are taking notice? I happened to catch that question. I thought that was a really good question. What do you guys think of that?
I think for different applications, I think it's really a great idea. And SIG didn't invent that. Okay, it's been around in 2011s for a long time, but the cost of their frames are like $700 to $900. So I think if you could maybe make your pistol heavier for competition and still meet weight, I think that's a great option for recoil impulse, and then being able to switch it over to like a carry frame. And in some states, or countries, they can only have like 3 guns or something like that. So you could have 3 guns, but you could have 6 or 7 frames, and you could adjust that pistol to how you want it or what you're going to use it for. So I think that's a awesome option. And yes, I wish other people would, or other companies would consider doing something like that.
I don't think it's going to catch on. I think it's too cost prohibitive for a lot of people. Yeah, it's great to have a 52-pound gun, but at the same time, I mean, how many people can actually go out and burn $1,000 on one gun? I don't know if that necessarily makes sense. I think that's one of those niche kind of guns. I think it's a gun that's, here where most people are going to be here. Now, if you can get up to that point, great, go for it. But I just don't see it catching on. I don't think that's going to be a mass-produced type of gun, which leads me into my next question for you guys, if you don't mind. What do you think?
Let's get KS's opinion on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you went KS.
No, that's okay. I just real quick thought. I totally agree with you 100%. I think it's a niche thing too. I'd like to see it happen. I think a heavier option of the same gun would be a lot of fun and would make for a very interesting comparison to see. So I'm a fan of doing it, but I think you're right. I think that's going to be a niche thing.
Yeah. Okay,
so
go ahead, 17.
So my question to you guys is, we obviously know that red dots is huge. We know that optics, everybody's like, optics. Do you think the chassis gun, in other words, the removable chassis, the trigger set and everything that's got the serial number, do you think that's the new next big thing?
It's a good question. Big Johnson?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think that, probably other than SIG, I think some other, and I know we know Steyr and things like that, but I think other companies are probably going to go to something like that, because I could see a potential of you buy the fire control group, or, you buy it in a pistol, and then you could take that fire control group out, you could move it over to a rifle, and you only have to buy, the rifles. Like, it's a serialized part for the trigger. So you could just buy the damn rifle on Amazon and take your trigger pack and put it in it. And then there you go. So you could have it shipped straight to your door. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think, I think the evolution is probably going to be something geared towards that.
I think depending on the manufacturer, I think some manufacturers will probably stay away from it, because I imagine there's a little bit more cost in that, potentially, or even just having the extra stock there, because you have the original firearm, right, that you sell out the door, and then you have all these other parts that have to be laying around. And so that becomes, there's a little bit more strategy involved in that. And so a company like SIG, I think, can do that without too much of an issue. And they've got the military side as well. And so they're doing that the way that makes sense for them. Other manufacturers probably won't as much. However, I think we are going to continue to see more of those, because, again, for all the points you guys have said, and I think it's that extra little thing that they can say, well, this is a chassis system. This right. is a serialized chassis system. So it's another little line item on your marketing brochure that you can send out.
Yeah, and I think right now that's what you're starting to see, because if you think about it, you've got Beretta, right? Obviously SIG, we have Steyr, we have Caracal, which is a chassis system. We
AREX,
the AREX, the Masada. I think that's a wave now, and we'll see. we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be interesting if you start seeing like Glock doing something like that.
Now,
Well, I was thinking about that. I'm sorry, Big Johnson. I was just going to say the one thing with Smith and Glock immediately came to mind, as did HK. Those guys, because of the systems that they have in their current firearms,
Right.
they would have to completely redesign everything.
Yeah.
Glock's not going to do that. I would comfortably put a $20 bill on the table and said that's not going to happen from Glock. We know their past, their traditional thing is to stay with the same course. Here's our line, and generation 10 is going to be here, but it's the same thing, right? With a couple of tweaks, they're going to take the serrations back or something, or whatever it is that they do on the next iteration. Smith, that one's a little bit more of a question mark, because I think Smith is a little bit more open to being more dynamic and changing things up a little bit more, and maybe coming out with a whole fresh redesign. And if they did that, we might see a chassis system from them.
yeah. I mean, I just keep thinking, and if you came out with a lot of multiple chassis systems for the same fire control unit, they're going to sell less guns, which are more profitable. So, I mean, that's a hit there. But think about it. If you could buy, like a big box, and it had a rifle in it, it had a PCC in it, it had a compact pistol and a full-size pistol. Now, these are all frames or chassis that are set up, red dot ready, whatever you want. And you had one fire control group for the whole box. That might be something kind of cool, because if you think about it, it's going to conserve less. You're not going to need multiple safes. You could just lock up your fire control unit, and what are they going to get? A chassis that's non-usable? I mean, I could see some stuff coming around to that.
Oh, you're remonetized? You didn't even tell us.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm not making a big deal out of this because the application was accepted. However, there was a note right under the acceptance, because I got an immediate, your application has been accepted, but then a disclaimer that said, over the next 30 days, we will be reviewing your entire channel. And so I have elected not to say anything, because all my videos are still demonetized. There's nothing that's changed except Rabbi, and thank you very much for the super chat. That is
Very nice.
much appreciated, my friend. Except that is the one thing that has changed. The super chat is now eligible again. Again, I didn't want to make a fuss about it or make a thing, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to throw a video out there and go, hey, guess what? And then like 3 days later, get another email that says, hey, you're getting 3 strikes. See you, bye, or something like that. So I didn't want to make a fuss about it, but there you go. That's where we are right now.
Congratulations.
That's good.
So nothing has changed, basically.
Yeah. Congratulations for being re-reviewed.
Right.
Looks like we missed. Okay, go ahead. Oh well. Looks like
we questions. Yeah.
We've missed a bunch of questions. But I mean, I think that I think any generation, if we know that it's proven and it's working, I think that that's a good thing, and it can make other people say, you know what, we either need to crap or get off the pod, or shut it down. We need to just do something different.
Yeah. Okay. So Young Guns, and it's not. I'm looking at 2 different streams of chat right now: the YouTube one and the StreamYard one. And Young Guns is saying SIG now has the P320X full size on their website. What's the P320X? I'm confused. I'm not. Young Guns, you've got me curious. We're gonna have to talk later, because
I'm gonna look it up right now.
You're looking it up. Okay, good. You'll fill us in, because I don't know if is that one of the X series. Is that I don't know. I don't know what that is, because I mean, I feel like the X5 is the full size, but I could be wrong.
Well, you have the 320X compact, right?
I have the compact, the carry, and the X5.
So I think it's the same thing as the full, what you have, and only in full size.
Okay, cool.
If that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm really not a SIG head, so.
Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah, sure. Like Big Johnson doesn't like CZs. Sure.
Right. Okay. So full disclaimer. Now, I like all manufacturers, so I do tend to go in waves a little bit, and so I do have those X series, and I've enjoyed them. They've been good guns. For all the things that SIG isn't, my enjoyment has definitely been there. They've made mistakes along the way, but I did pick up because it was a wish list firearm, and with the last YouTube paycheck before it all ran dry. I got a wish list gun. In fact, Dave Gass just mentioned it a little while ago. So 226 SAO Legion, and I'm pretty excited about that. However, it's really funny. In certain lights, this thing actually looks green. It almost looks OD green, which is really weird because they changed the finish. It's not that Legion gray PVD that they used to use. Now it's a I'm not even sure. Dave might be able to answer this because I can't. I haven't really studied it very much. But the finish is harder. It's better and more durable. But it looks very different. It's not as gray as the old ones. So they've changed the color a little bit. And I'm a little disappointed in the new color. But if it doesn't scratch, I guess it's an okay trade-off.
Hey, look, we got Crazy Ed from the Philippines joining us tonight. That's pretty cool.
Crazy Ed.
Hello.
Greetings
Yeah,
back.
maybe you have the chameleon model. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I'm super excited. I mean, it's a beautiful firearm. I'm a big fan of the SIG P series, kind of like 17, what you've got. I mean, that was a little bit of an inspiration there as well. And the 226 and the 229 are both favorites. I love the 229, but I kind of thought I really want to try the SAO, and they have one in 229. But if it's going to be a range, fun, plinker, enjoying sort of thing, I went 226 just for that little extra length.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to try to get my hands on a 229 at some point, but it'll have to be really reasonably priced.
I'll tell you what. You can find, again, it goes back to the used conversation.
Sure.
You can find some good deals on 229s. And if it doesn't have the best trigger, I've worked on those triggers. They're not hard to do. There's some good videos out there. They're easy to take apart and put in the SRT kit. There's
Sure.
nothing to that. And I think I actually have an SRT kit here. So if you find one and you need it, let me know.
Sweet. Yeah, well, I figured if I can take apart a Beretta and strip that bad boy down, I was so nervous doing that because I've never gone full strip on a gun, and there are a lot of springs and pins and just stuff that can go wrong very quickly, but it was actually pretty good. There was a good series of videos that led me through it, and that's why I watch YouTube, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find what you want.
Yeah.
Real quick, when I was thinking about it, because I had some people ask me about this, and I've noticed it more since I've been carrying it. But when you carry your pistol with the red dot, you're going to get like just skin, and your dot gets dirty and dusty and all that stuff. And these little lens pins, one end has the little brush that comes out and you can just wipe it off real quick. And then this end has this little, I don't know, some kind of lens cleaner stuff that you can smear it on there. And then it comes with like a little blow deal to get the dust off. But I highly recommend these things. They're awesome. So if anybody's curious, I've had some questions about it.
Cool.
Amazon, eBay, everybody sells them.
Nice. Dennis Jones, Dan Wesson Razorback hit my dealer today, picking it up tomorrow. That is freaking cool, dude.
Cool.
Very cool. And then Tian Steyer in the house. Good to see you, man. Nice.
I like Rabbi Jesus' comment. You're not a confirmed gun guy until you've been baptized by searching the floor for a spring. Well, I'll tell you, when I was changing out the hammer spring on the 225, I bought the wrong spring initially because there's two versions. There's the original that has a long spring, and then the newer ones that have the short spring. Well, I had no idea, so I bought the longer versions. So I take the gun apart, pull the hammer spring out. I'm like, wait a second, what the hell is this? It's half the size of the spring I got in my hand. So like an idiot, I'm trying to stick this fucking pin. Oh, sorry guys. I'm trying to stick this spring in there, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. There's no way. So of course, doing some more research, I'm like, I'm a moron. So let me order the other Wolf spring. So I had to do that. And the first one I put in, the 19-pound, it shot across, and I was like, oh my God. And then eventually I was able to figure out how to drive the stupid thing in. It was a disaster, but you know what? I like doing those things because then you'll learn and then you figure it out. And I'll tell you, once I got the 18-pound in, it was like nothing the next time around. So I always recommend, you know what, if you're not an expert gunsmith, do what you're comfortable with, but try it. Just try it. And worst case scenario is you send it to a local gun guy and they can fix it for you, hopefully.
Can I give you a tip next time what to do? And it never fails. Get a Ziploc bag. Put your gun in the Ziploc bag with your hands in the big Ziploc bag. Take it apart. It'll stay in the bag. Take it out. And there's your spring. I've learned the hard way on lowers because pins fly everywhere and you can't find them. So that's why you have your little junk box of springs.
I figure I'm in a shoe closet, so it's not going far.
Yeah, but man, I'm telling you, those tiny ones, you can't find them. Yeah. So if you take it apart in a bag, everything will be in the bag.
Well, I have like about 52 Ziploc bags with every single part labeled from the gun.
Yeah,
So
I
that when
bet.
I get it back, I'm going to say, okay, here's this. Let me put it this way. It was quite the show to do the thanks, Dennis, to to take that Beretta apart. So now I can't wait to get it back. I can't wait to show it, man, because I think it's going to look just friggin' awesome. And it's getting stippled. It's getting a new nice Cerakoted finish to it. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be a gun that just probably sits in the safe because it really doesn't have any purpose. But like I said, it was unique. Why the hell not?
Yeah, and remember, if you remember way back with, I think it was your P07 or your P09, you're like, I can't get this damn pin out. I was like, use a pencil eraser. And because remember, it flew out multiple times.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
use that pencil eraser and that little tip. And you were like, it took you 2 seconds on a chat to do it.
Right. Yeah.
We can redneck some stuff.
I'll tell you, the things you learn, right? The things you learn.
Trial and error.
That's exactly right. Now, somebody mentioned I lost the comment, unfortunately, and StreamYard only lets you go back so far. So I apologize for. I think it might have been Captain Phil might have actually asked this. The 92X. Now he was talking about anybody have any plans on carrying the 92X. Now there are several in the series, including like a compact and all that. But what do you guys think of the 92X series? Not all at once.
I'm super excited, but not for the competition version. I actually like the Centurion on that gun, especially with the A3. That would be something I would love to get my hands on, because I'm very happy with them. I like Berettas. They're very good handguns, and to me, that's pretty sweet. Now, there's also the compact. I'm not sure on that one, but I'd have to. I mean, the likelihood of me ever seeing anything like that around here is very small. But I'd be interested to see when you get both of them, KS, which one you like better.
Big Johnson.
Me personally, no. And if you remembered when I came down, I tried, and I've had Beretta, the old military version in the past, but the grip just is not long enough for me. And, I want it to work, and I can even use extended mags, but man, when I change mags, I have to lift the bottom of my hand off because it pinches. So if they came with a longer grip, then because I like the pistol. I mean, they're great pistols, but it's not anything I'm going to be lining up for personally.
Gotcha. It's 17 is kind of teasing me there a little bit. True story. However, I actually am very interested in the competition pistol, the big 92X. First of all, I think it's beautiful. I think it's a darn good looking firearm. And based upon, I've watched a couple of videos, and one actually was in Italian, so I didn't really understand what they were saying so much, but it was pretty decent video quality, and I got the gist of it and what they were saying. But the trigger pull in double actions like 6.5 pounds, and the single actions like 3.5 pounds, and it's all adjustable, so you can adjust your pre and post travel. That's pretty freaking cool. And so it is on the list. That would be probably the last one I'd be able to do for the whole year, which is kind of a bummer, but I think it might be worth it. I think that would be a lot of fun to try. Again, I think it's beautiful. I too have enjoyed the 92s. Now, either the Wilson or the Langdon have to go. I've got to review the Langdon. I still haven't done that yet. It's on the books to do soon. As you guys have noticed, I've kind of slowed down the videos just a little bit, and that's partly to compensate for what's been going on with YouTube. That pace might pick back up. I'm not sure how things are going to go because other stuff has creeped up that I'm working on. But I want to try that Langdon. I think I have an idea of which one that I prefer, but that 92X looks pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go what now?
Oh, CK was saying congratulations on 36,000. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, Kyla Collar has a question for us. Do we think the Archon being made in Hungary now is going to affect the quality of the pistol? It actually is stamped on there now, made in Hungary. I did see that.
This is like the Type B.
Yes.
I doubt it. I guess it's always possible, but since the design's already there, unless it's quality control, I would hope not. I mean, I guess I don't know, but hopefully not.
I would think the parts are already made, so hopefully they're just putting it together there, but you never know.
Right.
I think if anything, the quality is going to be better. I think anytime you have a manufacturer that makes their guns in the old Eastern Bloc of Europe, I think they just make fantastic stuff. So
Yeah, probably
I
true.
think it's going to be better.
Maybe they moved it there for that reason. You never know.
Yeah. Harry is saying, well, we don't know the quality of Archon now. It hasn't been out there long enough.
Well,
I don't know, man. I'll tell you, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the thing. I think it's just been phenomenal, and I've yet to have an issue. So this is good stuff.
yeah, I mean, I think, looking at the longevity of it, I mean, I agree. It's not Glock proven or any of that yet, but I think it's a good gun.
So I want to reverse this question.
Okay.
Now that CZ is producing out of the U.S., do you think the quality of CZ is going to go down because it's not being made in the Czech Republic?
Well, my P10F that I have is made, in the States, and I haven't noticed any quality difference between my Czech-made P10Cs. I mean, it's a very accurate pistol. I haven't had any problems with it. I'm going on a sample of one, but I haven't heard of anyone reporting problems, and I think they're just ramping up to put out more pistols. So hopefully nothing suffers, but so far I don't see anything that's wrong with that.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any quality issues, and I think the American side of CZ, when they reworked it to do the optics ready, I think they spent a pretty massive amount of time, and I think that's why it's taken so long to get it out to the market and to continue to get out to the market. And of course, they're switching facilities and that sort of thing right now too. So I think that's taking some of their resources and time. But I don't think so. I mean, time will tell. But I haven't heard any major issues. People aren't posting videos about issues with P10s like they are about the 365 XL. So, and that usually is the first indication that there is potentially something going on.
Yeah, and Dennis is saying, CZ quality will tank after the Arkansas move. They're not moving to Arkansas. They're just opening up another facility there.
Well,
are they moving?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they're moving.
Yeah.
Oh, because they were talking about another facility, so I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I think ultimately I think they're going to leave Kansas City, which is a real bummer because they're 20 minutes from my house, although I've never been there. But
Arkansas makes some nice guns. You've got Nighthawk Custom there. I mean, they do good stuff.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw a disclaimer out. I am not glorifying the communist bloc of Eastern Europe. All right. I'm saying those folks make great guns, guys. Relax. Okay.
Well, I, for one, was very offended.
Resist.
Right.
I just joined Antifa, guys. Okay.
So Crazy Ed is saying, I think it depends for CZ. If they put the effort in to maintain quality, they will. If they let it slide, then it will slide. I think that's true. And I think CZ, I think, and I could be wrong about this, but all that I've experienced, both firsthand and also just out seeing how other people have experienced CZ, by and large, the experiences are very good. There are certainly situations where things don't go quite so well. That's the same with any manufacturer. But I think by and large, they put out good quality product. They really do.
I'm just reading these comments. Vanessa saying, if you think communist nations are good, then leave here and move there. Did anybody say that?
No.
Jesus. Is this the wrong chat? Are we dealing with snowflakes now all of a sudden, for Pete's
Pack
sake?
your crap, get out.
My God. Holy smokes. Relax.
But no, I don't think anything's going to, go wrong with that. If they can ramp up and get guns out quicker and create a larger like footprint in the marketplace, I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
I just want to say I appreciate that Vanessa Kitty can laugh that off. That's good.
Yes,
that's a
yes.
good thing.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Stop being sensitive. So if there's a gun that's being made in California, is that a communist gun? I wonder.
Ooh.
Like
So,
a Jimenez?
So
We
let
can
me
get
ask,
a Jimenez.
let me ask you guys this question. Do you think the term Fredo is racist?
No.
What?
It's been around forever.
You haven't. You didn't see the Chris Cuomo blow up, I guess.
Italian.
KS, huh?
I did not see that.
Some guy called him Fredo, and he played it like it's a racist, derogatory comment towards Italians.
Oh
like
my
the N-word.
gosh. Jeez. Well,
Wow.
What is not racist now?
I was going to say anything you say anymore could be misconstrued and explode and the whole 9 yards. I'm surprised we're all still here, to be honest.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, that's funny.
Watch The Godfather if you don't know what a Fredo is.
Exactly. Yeah, we can get a gun that shoots sprinkles. That would be awesome.
That's true. That's true. All right. So, any last minute questions from anybody out there before all is said and done for another Wednesday evening? Anything else from you guys?
No, I mean, nothing I can think of. Just, doing what the hell I want and putting out what the hell I want. And hopefully everybody's happy with it.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I'm kind of just doing, whatever. I'm doing more live chats, I think, or at least I'm going to try. Those are usually fun. Really good questions too, by the way. Gun wise, the Ruger I got to shoot still. I haven't done that. At some point the Caracol will come in. At some point, the Masada and the Phantom will come back home. So other than that, I'm just going to keep on keeping on and doing whatever. I'll probably swear allegiance to communism tonight.
Oh, God.
I'm just going to go full bore. Why not? Just join the club. Because
Now we're going to be demonetized, just so you know.
communism is good, man. Communism's great, right?
Oh,
come on.
geez.
What could be better?
Oh,
Real,
heaven.
and someone's or I think it's Texas Teachers asked this question: Shadow 2 or 320 Legion?
Or was that? That video will definitely be coming out. It is on.
No, okay, all right. So you
I'm
don't
not
want
going to answer the question.
I got you. Okay, I didn't. And I won't. Well, hell, I'll say it. Shadow 2, but we'll let KS have what he wants. That's my.
Mark Newton, you will. No, I'll tell you what. If for some reason that video doesn't come out, Texas, I will call you and I will let you know what the verdict is.
I meant my opinion. Since he's asking, he didn't say just one person.
It's only me.
Okay, I know. It's your world. We just live in it.
That's right.
So we still have 4 minutes. So what else you guys want to talk about? I love the discussion of communism. That's so fun. I love the comments. They're great.
Okay, next gun purchase. Back up the current EDC or go for something different for the collection.
Oh, good question. I something different for the collection. I have the EDC stuff. I mean, that my answer anyway. I'm not looking for anything else EDC. Plenty of EDC stuff. So right now I'm just looking for fun. That's it.
What about you, 17?
I don't really have. I mean, I can't now. I'm kind of stretched thin as it is. So whatever's coming in will be it, unless there's just something out there that is a must. But right now, there's really not much. I mean, there's really not much else that I'm looking for, unless you come across a really good deal on a SIG P229. But
yeah,
other than that, that's about it.
I don't need anything for EDC. If it was like a collectible piece or something I've really been looking for a long time, that might be what it is. But I don't have any definites on the radar right now.
So Johnny Danger, if you're going bald, I highly recommend shaving. So get a razor, get some shaving cream, put some hot water on your head, and go to town, man. It's great.
I just like it when the sides grow out like really long.
Well, I mean, I still got hair over here. It's just not much.
I mean, they're bald on the top.
Yeah. But I love it, man. I love being bald. I can't complain. But you also have to have a bald guy's head. If you have like a weird shaped head, don't do it.
Or a bunch of scars.
Right.
Scars are cool.
Scars are cool.
I got a couple right here, actually.
Right. Well, gentlemen, closing thoughts.
Always appreciate it. Everyone being on and, spending this evening with us. That really means a lot. Check us all out on Instagram. If you're not following us, we put a lot of stuff on Instagram that we don't even ever do videos on or first look stuff. But I just appreciate everyone. Thanks for being on tonight, guys. Appreciate it.
Same as always. Thanks everybody for coming out every Wednesday night to watch this. And it's nice that we don't have train wrecks. And it's good that we talk to all of you and we don't, ask for anything back. Just a good conversation amongst people who like the same things. And one of the things I started doing was I'm starting to take pictures of guns in nature.
I noticed that.
I'm you know what? This is going to sound crazy, but I'm finding that attracts more people. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. They see grass and a gun, and it's like boom. It's the weirdest thing. Like I took pictures of guns on rocks, and everybody's like, "Oh man!" So that's my tip of the day, guys. Guns
Oh,
in
man.
nature.
I'm gonna start filming them next to cow shit. That's it.
I was actually going to pull over the side of the road with some roadkill and just put it right next to it or something.
Jeez,
I killed this for lunch.
that'll be different. Well, good times, good times. Well, everybody, like they've said, thank you very much for joining all of us. We really appreciate it. The Steyr video drops Saturday. So excited for that. That's a great gun, by the way. I'm very impressed with that firearm.
Told you.
Yeah, no kidding. However, I still like the old one, so I'm not necessarily swayed. I like the new one. The new one's good, but the old one is also good. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
I
it's
agree.
kind of one of those things. If you have the old one, you don't necessarily have to get the new one. So, but again, as always, thank you guys very much. Otherwise, shoot straight, be safe. Have a good one.
See you
Good
guys.
night, everyone. Carry on.